Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Shout out to anybody that actually works a 9-to-5 job, because my job will continue through the weekend. I closed on a real estate deal yesterday. Like I said, I've been just super, super busy. I still have to do my taxes. I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be next week. I'm going to try and do 5 days. I did 5 days this week. I didn't do an additional daily paid newsletter, but I'm working on one that is turning AI into your financial advisor. So I'm working on that one. It's good, but we're going to go over a lot. We're going to go over why I recommended DOCU last week. This week on Monday, I said the stock I like this week for earnings is DOCU. We'll go over that. We will go over Trump did it again. We'll go over that. Tesla sent an unsigned letter complaining about taxes. Elon didn't even have the balls to sign that one. Every place other than the U.S., China's flying. Asia is flying. The stock market returns over the last 20 years. We'll go over that. I think it's 15 years. The biggest movers of the day, we'll look at that one as well. And a couple of charts, specifically Apple, I'll go over. I love what they're talking about with Apple AirPods, but there's been a narrative of Apple, and it mirrors exactly what was happening last year. So we're going to look at the chart. We're going to look at the storylines. We're going to look at the market sentiment, and we're going to go over a strategy. I'm going to try and build a strategy in TrendSpider for you live here so you can see what happens. The 30 stocks from Morgan Stanley that they say are buy and hold. We'll go over that. Top 10 decliners from yesterday. Is there anything that's worth it? Found one, maybe. And we'll look at Bitcoin versus gold. So there's your show. Thank you. Good night. No. QQQ. We are up in pre-market. Okay. The Qs are up 1.44. It looks like a relief rally. Don't trust it. Don't trust it. Don't trust it. I will go into more later, but there are a few things you can trust. And that may be my paid newsletter. And honest to God, this was just when anybody on the internet posts a stock, it doesn't matter. They don't know for sure that it's going to go up. If they do, it's called insider information. But they don't know for sure. You're just making your best guess. So for the paid newsletter subscribers, I sometimes make very good guesses. And this week on Monday, I posted the stock I like this week, and a strategy is DOCU. Okay, there were a couple of reasons why. We'll pull up DOCU. It is up. They posted great earnings yesterday. I mean, you can see right here, rises as investors look past. They posted a weak 2026 outlook, and yet they're up 10 to 14% in pre-market. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this one real quick for everyone. Now that the earnings are done, is this one a buy? I went over yesterday, even posted in the free newsletter yesterday. Look at the two comparing ones. Michael Wiggins had an analysis on it. There were other ones. But the strategy that I like is the 4-hour algorithm. And so if you take a look just to the left of my head, okay, you'll see performance chart right there, right where my cursor is, right down here. And when you see these, this TrendSpider page, okay, the charts, look at that performance chart, because this will tell you the 4-hour algorithm, okay? And you take emotions out of it. 4-hour algorithm makes you 82% versus buy and hold makes you 16% in this name. Now down here right under my head, which you can't see, but if you have TrendSpider, you can follow along, because this is just in the strategy tester. Right here, the strategy tester right there. Look, it's got 24 positions over 24 months. And again, that's where you make 82%. And you can see it does get you out along on the way up. Sometimes it gets you out too late. It's not perfect. There is no perfect strategy for every stock. This is just my strategy that works for me. And when I look at a 4-hour chart, I can kind of tell where it's going. So let's look at what I saw in DOCU, because I use these tools. Again, the tools that I show you, I use. So what did I post? Well, I posted here. There is a DocuSign earnings, Q4. Let's see all news. It was upgraded by JP Morgan, upgraded at JP Morgan right there Monday on potential improvement in business. That's a good sign. When an analyst who knows more about the business than anybody who's on the internet, unless they're an employee at DocuSign, JP Morgan upgraded it. Okay. The other thing I noticed was when you look at the quant, it recently went to a strong buy. And you can see down here on December 2nd, it went to a strong buy. And you can see the grades on this change. And it moved to a buy once the valuation started to get tough up in the 80s. And we were trading in the 70s. Trading in the 70s. And when you look at Wall Street, what do they think that it's worth? $95. Okay. The 4-hour algorithm, as of Monday, had it as a buy. And I knew earnings were coming up. It got you out, got you right back in. And then it got you out yesterday. And this was around 78, 79. Today in pre-market, it's trading at $82. Okay. So maybe you don't make the 10%. Maybe you didn't buy it yesterday. There was no confirmation, so I didn't take the trade. I personally love their software. Okay, this is another situation where I closed on a real estate deal. A few days ago, I had to use DocuSign. It is super easy. So what are the risks? Well, the risks are there are competitive. I put it into AI. There are competitive products. It's easy. It's almost like Zoom. It's a verb. Okay, it's gotten expensive. We just looked at some of the valuation. The valuation has gotten expensive. It's trading at a 20 forward times earnings. Okay, but the PEG ratio, the growth is where it's good. And the growth had recently improved. That you're growing at 7% revenue growth year over year. That's recently improved. And so there were risks. So don't think that I've got any special sauce. There is nothing special in here. That's 100% of how I went about this. And yeah, I got lucky and I called it. Now, if I were actually, you can see right here, the trade at $82, that's where I bought $100 of it. It just came back up there. Do I expect this particular rally to hold? I don't. I mean, that pop right there, I expect us to see it sell off. And the reason is because I just don't think that this one is going to get above its 200-day. So your top, your intraday high, if we do see a nice rally in this one, it's probably 96. That 200-day is going to provide resistance. But I saw in the weekly a nice moving up in the 50-day. But we've rejected off that 200-day. I wouldn't trust it. So again, paid newsletter subscribers, congrats to anybody that took that trade, anybody that actually did it. If you were watching the charts, you could have bought in the 70s, and now you can sell in the 80s. Take a little victory lap right there. Well, let's talk about Trump did it again, by the way, and we're just going to look at VOO because I want to show you VOO, and I want to show you a 5-minute chart of VOO. What we saw yesterday was exactly what we knew. You had a nice little rally here in the morning at about 9:55, and then Trump tweeted about tariffs again. This is 100% about tariffs, and mind you, this is completely unnecessary. And the news coming out of the White House is that he's unhinged with anybody, throwing a tariff against it. It's a tariff war. And so what happens when a rally happens is Trump tweets and we get taken back down. This is the market that you're in. This is 2018 all over again. It's managing by chaos. And the Treasury Secretary said, hey, you've enjoyed stock market gains, so maybe you're not going to get them. And they don't care if we fall into a recession. Okay, that's part of what they want. They want lower rates, and they are fighting the Fed. Okay, don't fight the Fed. They are fighting the Fed. But did we get just too greedy? I mean, did we get just too greedy? This is it. This is the, let me see. Oh, we have to pay homage to the GOAT, by the way, first of all. The homage to the GOAT. Oh, yeah, this is the thing. Buffett sold his SPY and VOO. Okay. You're down 10% since they sold that. That's pretty damn good. I mean, timing the market, you can't do it, but maybe that might have been a sign. It wasn't big positions, but again, he sold out of it. So kudos to him. And then you've got some of the president's allies, Elon Musk. This is what's funny. Tesla warns the U.S. trade rep about the harmful impact of tariffs. So you've got even Elon. Is this the start of, let's be honest, there is going to be a breakup and it's going to be ugly between Elon and Trump. It's just going to happen. The love fest that you're seeing right now, there was a love fest in 2016 until Trump called climate change a total hoax and pulled out of the Paris Agreement. And then Elon said Trump's just a joke and he left his CEO council. So there will be a blow up at some point. Tesla warns the U.S. And this was what's funny. Tesla sent this letter unsigned. But again, they're warning the U.S. rep about harmful impact of tariffs. Tariffs aren't great. Even Ronald Reagan, who used tariffs, said they're great temporarily, but not long term. Trump is saying, don't test me. I'm going to drive us off a cliff. So you can't trust a rally right now. You can't. What would I be looking for in any type of rally? I would be looking at a daily chart and I would be looking at confirmation. And what do I consider confirmation? You can talk all you want, but this green line right here in my TrendSpider setup, that's a 9-day EMA. Learn charts. Learn charts. A 9-day EMA. I want to see it trading above that. I don't care if I miss the first 10% of this rally. Okay, we are in the fastest drawdown of the S&P in history. I think the fastest 10%. It's been like 15 days or something. It is huge. Okay, I want to see confirmation before I say, okay, I'm going balls deep back in, because I have no doubt in my mind that we are going back to all-time highs. I just don't know when. Is this going to take a year? Is it going to take 2 years? My assumption is that Trump, again, it's tariffs. So he's got it within his power to move this market. So while the U.S. is losing, by the way, Asia's soaring. Let's go and look at some market data. Let's go and look at, some countries. Global equities, some of the countries. We can look at the 1 month here. 1 month. China's up 7%. Germany's up 3%. France is up 1%. The UK is up 1%. Japan, dead even. Brazil is down 2%. And the US is down 10%. 10%. Year to date, 19% for China, 18% for Germany, 12% for France, 9% for the UK. Japan up 3%. Brazil is up 10%. Okay, over 1 month, Brazil has pulled back, but they're still up year to date 10%, and the US is down 6%. So the rest of the world is enjoying the tariff war. The US is the one losing. And I don't disagree. By the way, this isn't political. I don't disagree with the actual what Trump's trying to do. I disagree with the tactic. And the tactic is, Jim Cramer put it really well last night. Trump could be tweeting positive things about great earnings. Dollar General reported great earnings. Is rather than saying, hey, Dollar General, great job in cutting our food cost. He's out there tweeting about tariffs. He could be doing positive things. So I just disagree with that. Now, talking about, are we getting greedy? Look at this. This is Ben. Ben's great to follow, by the way. He's on the Animal Spirits podcast with Michael Batnick. Coming into 2025, the S&P has only 2 down years in the past 15. Okay, 2 down years. That's 2018 during Trump, and it's 2022 when rising interest rate. 2018 minus 4.2%. That was Trump's tariff war. So do not think that this won't go on for a long time and that he's not digging in his heels and that you can't see further downside. Again, understand candlesticks, understand charts. Take time this weekend. If you don't know charts, just go and Google candlesticks. Go and read about them. Go and look at a chart. Get a charting program. You don't have to get TrendSpider. Go and get Thinkorswim. Go and get Webull. Go and get Robinhood. Okay? Go to my link tree. If you want the 4-hour algorithm, which again helps keep emotions out of this, look at VOO. Okay? VOO, it got you out here with a 1.5% gain back on February 24th. It hasn't gotten you back in. I've been adding on the way back in because I'm long-term focused, but I'm not going balls deep. We're talking hundreds of dollars. We're not talking thousands of dollars. And usually when I'm putting buys into VOO, I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars. So again, make sure you understand candles. And if you want this 4-hour algorithm, go over to Linktree and sign up. You can get a great two-week trial for $10. And by the way, here's the killer portion of this. For $10, you can get a one-on-one training with a TrendSpider expert. Okay? So during the 2 weeks, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't understand any of this stuff. You want to understand how to use the software. You get a one-on-one Zoom meeting with a TrendSpider expert. They go over what are your goals. They go over what do you understand. They go over what do you want to look at. And yes, most of the guys over there know me. So you can say, well, I'm looking at Gary's 4-hour algorithm. They'll tell you, well, Gary only gives it to people who sign up for the yearly plan. Because again, the 2-week trial is for you to try it. So this weekend, go over to Linktree, sign up for a 2-week trial of TrendSpider. If you're afraid that what you're losing and we have further downside, learn charts. Take emotions out of this because VOO clearly on February 24th, it got you out. It got you out. So if you're nervous, that's what the 4-hour algorithm will do. And yes, yesterday's afternoon candle was great. And this morning's candle may be good. Maybe we go down. But again, the question is, have we been spoiled? And I think that's what the administration is trying to tell you, is that, hey, there's going to be short-term pain. So any rally that you see in this market should not be sustained. And so he's going to take it down with a tweet. And I have no doubt in my mind that's exactly what's happening. Now, the biggest movers of the day. Biggest movers, DocuSign, huge. Ulta Beauty, again, a mover. I was going over our watch list yesterday. Peloton's in the watch list, and it's up 6% just on an upgrade. Let's look at how Peloton. I mean, this is one of the pandemic benefits, and it got you in here at $6.11 yesterday, and it's up 7%. It's at $6.54. Can you trust this one? Well, look down here. The performance chart loses you 28%. You may say, well, that's shitty. Buying and holding loses you 58%. Okay, so the 4-hour algorithm, if you're on the Peloton, you're like, well, I want to trade this because I use this bike. At least I saved you half of what you'd lose if you bought and held. Still not a good stock. It's still expensive. But you can see that 50-day starting to turn. The Bollinger Bands are cinching up. The RSI's at 41. We just had an upgrade. Maybe it's time to get in. I don't know. I don't like it. Again, I don't have it. One of the my buddy Steve, who did the 4-hour algorithm with me, he sent me this one. And it's one bad day. Look at that. One bad day is not a bad life. So understand where we're at. And if you go to VOO, you know, a lot of people say, when in doubt, zoom out. We'll go to a weekly. Does that look like a horrible, horrible pullback? No. And you can even go to QQQ. You know, there's a lot of people who just trade on trend lines. And you can go to a monthly of QQQ and take a look. That was COVID. I mean, that's a huge, huge. This was when we started raising interest rates. It doesn't even look like we've started the downturn. So I don't think that the administration is thinking about this stuff. But again, one bad day does not make a bad life. So understand this is part of what we signed up for with putting Trump in office. It's what he did in 2018. Now, I want to give you a little story yesterday. Well, let's go over. I want to show you a little stock that I found. One that is in the in one of the watch lists that I have is QTUM, Defiance Quantum, and I found this one yesterday here on. I had a call with TrendSpider, and myself and Nader were going over some stuff, and I said, this is interesting. Quantum stocks, because I don't want to hold individual quantum stocks. I want to hold something like an ETF. Now, this is in the watch list, and you can see momentum A+, expenses B-. I think it's got a 0.4% expense rate. You can see dividends B, does have a dividend 0.5, 57 cents. Risk, it's a D because it's highly risky. Liquidity, it's an A-. They have $1.07 billion assets under management. So it's not bad. You go over to the holdings. It's got Alibaba, it's got D-Wave, it's got Orange, it's got Rigetti, it's got Nokia, it's got Palantir, it's got NEC, it's got Infineon, it's got RTX. It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. Then I went over to TrendSpider, and Nader and I were talking, is there a strategy that works? Well, this one over 24 months makes you 96%. Okay, this has a nice little run from 64 up to 82. Is it dead? Well, take a look at a weekly. We're going to start out a weekly. It's still extended, but it's turned over. Your Bollinger Bands, I don't think have cinched up. I would be looking between 68 and 75 to add this, because I think the 50-day might provide you some support. This week, the candle is red. It opened at 76. The low is 73. Right now, you're trading at 75. I don't think that there's much space here. But again, this is a nice ETF where the 4-hour algorithm may provide you some support. You win 59% of the time. There's 18 positions, and it just got you in at 75. Maybe the 200-day pushes this one back up, because right now on a 4-hour, your MACD is super low. Your RSI is at 40. Maybe it's a nice time to buy this one. Again, if you're into quantum stocks, you talk about nice time to buy. Meta was under 500, under $600. Is it time to buy? I'm waiting for the 4-hour algorithm. That's what I'm waiting for. But Meta, under $600, 18% year-over-year growth. Are you kidding? That's not expensive. Up at $700, it was expensive. It closed at $590. You're at 603 in pre-market. Just buy it. One of the other Mag 7 that I think is just screaming buy is Amazon. 30% growth under $200. Get it. For me, screaming buy. Algorithm said buy at $199. I bought another small position. I own way too much of this one. But my average purchase price is somewhere in the 40s, I think. Buy and hold. When you have opportunities like this, get it. It has broken down, but I don't think Amazon is losing. I think Amazon's winning. They're tied to the consumer. Again, if the consumer starts to go weak and we go into a recession, you will come down. And maybe you come down to 152. I'll buy more. I'll just buy more. These guys print money. So I like that one. Now, Apple is rumored to be starting a real-time enabled live translation with conversations with your AirPods in. So you go over to Japan. I don't speak Japan. My girlfriend speaks Japan. Her son speaks, Japanese. I don't speak it, but I can throw in my AirPods, and Siri's going to actually start translating live. That's great. Here's the story I have for you. I was sitting there yesterday. I was next to a wood chipper. And I'm on the phone with my friend who I'm doing a real estate deal with. I'm on the phone and I'm talking about real shit, okay? Next to a freaking wood chipper. I couldn't hear him. I just continued on. I get away from the wood chipper and I said, hey, did that conversation make sense to you? I don't know if you could hear me. I was just kind of talking. You know what he told me? Didn't hear the wood chipper whatsoever, only heard my voice. So Apple, to me, what's the narrative on Apple right now? The narrative on Apple is that they can't innovate. It's that the AI is delayed. So what I want to show you is last year at this time, because last year's time, we had this bump up here to 200 and it rejected twice. It rejected here in July 2023 and it rejected here in December 2023. And then it's rejected here January 15th. I'm sorry, January 22nd. And then it came back down. The narrative was Apple has missed AI. Okay. And then in April, it turned around. And it turned around because there were rumors about WWDC and AI. A 41% rally. Okay. What's the news today? It's that Apple has missed AI. It's that they're delaying AI. It's that they put a whole bunch of new features into Apple Intelligence last year that won't be coming anytime soon. I trust in Tim Cook. I trust in that. Okay? I trust in that. I'm not selling at $209. Yeah, at $211 where it's trading right now. I'm not buying more. Just full disclosure, I have a complete position. It is expensive. It is an expensive stock. And for, again, you look at growth, they're growing revenue growth 2% year over year. That's not good. Forward revenue growth 4%, EBITDA growth 7%. It's not great. But at some point, people start upgrading their iPhone. At some point, Apple realizes that a 1 megapixel improvement in the camera is not what people want. And they want things to be easy. And Apple is one that does things easy. And right now, they are behind. But I have trust in the company. So am I selling it? No. Am I buying it? If I didn't have a position, I would be starting to buy this one. You may get several pops back to 260 during this time, but in my mind, it's just oversold. They have not lost their edge. Again, real translation from AirPods, it's kind of big to me. What was up yesterday? AppLovin was up yesterday. This is a stock that has good fundamentals. It just got an algorithm buy-in. I like this one. Again, 272. Are we looking at an update on this one? It's at 283. It's up 4%. AppLovin has good fundamentals. The short interest is still 4%, but it's still got good fundamentals. Okay, the PEG ratio, the growth in this is phenomenal. And maybe you don't like AppLovin. Maybe you like their competitor, Unity Software. Okay, this one chart is all over the place. But AppLovin, to me, I want to add more as we look to this one. But if I look at a weekly on this one, it's still a little bit extended. But the Bollinger Bands are cinching up. Now, this could mean that we come back down to this 200-day at $80. I don't think so. But again, you don't know. One that I've been really right on, that in my mind is screaming buy, is Snowflake. And the reason Snowflake is a screaming buy, I pointed out this range here all the way since 2022. It gets up to 200, and then it goes down to about 130. You're trading at 149. 149. This has been a great range. And I don't know that it's super expensive, but you get pops. So you don't go, say you have $20 to invest. Put $1 into Snowflake, okay, this week. And then over the next 20 weeks, you put $1 in. When it gets up towards 200 and you're feeling uncomfortable, you sell. You sell because it will go back to 200. Okay, I like that one. I like it a lot. So let's look at this. The S&P is now down multiple times. The multiple of the S&P is down from 22 to 20, and yet earnings number haven't been taken down. If the consumer is hurt and these numbers start coming down and Trump continues to be negative, expect more downside. Strategies matter. Okay, strategies matter. Here's one. Let's see if we can build this. the backtest by SPY when the RSI hits 30 and holds for 21 days. What I want you to do when you go into TrendSpider, you just go down here. You hit new strategy, okay? There is a add human language. So we're going to say we're going to say the entry condition is for when RSI is below 30. Apply, okay? And we're going to say exit condition. We're going to say add an exit condition script. We'll add human language. Hold for 21 days. Apply, let's see. Oh, I guess he can't. Exit 21 days later. Let's see if that works. Human condition. I have to look it up. There we go. Okay. 21 days. So there we go. Let's run this on SPY. We'll run this on SPY. Let's look. What's it telling me? No entries found over 5.7 years. Oh, that's a weekly. I'm sorry. That's a weekly. We got to change this to daily. We're going to change that to daily. Boom. 14 months. Let's go and we're going to do that over the last Oh, okay. Let's change this condition. RSI. Let's see. We're going to get rid of that and we're going to say add human language. Oh, RSI closes below 30. Apply. Let's see. Let's see if this works. RSI below 30. Let's see. It's not working. This is the human language thing of TrendSpider where you can do it. Yeah, there we go. It doesn't. Yeah, I've got to work on this. So much for live stuff, but the 4-hour algorithm actually does work on this, so we can look at that. But again, it's as simple as that. And if you need any help, this is why I go to TrendSpider, is you use the contact us button down here, and you can say, I'm trying to set this up. You can literally point to them. You can say, hey, I just saw this tweet. How do I build this? They'll build it for you and then send it to you. Or if you have a trial, you can put that in as, hey, I want to build this strategy. So it's as easy as that. Again, I don't know why it's not doing it for me. It's just one of those things. I'm not great at TrendSpider. Again, I usually have to sit down and work at it. And that's the key. Part of the reason I don't like these 2-week trials, by the way, and I told TrendSpider, I fucking hate it. But part of the reason I don't like it is because it takes me a long time to learn this stuff. And it took me 8 to 12 months to actually understand TrendSpider and understand the power of the tool. So I don't like these 2-week trials, but I agreed to it. It is what it is. But again, this strategy, the last 5 years, 75% win rate. And all you do is enter when the RSI hits 30 and holds for 21-day candles, approximately 1 month. 75% win rate, 3.45% average return, 2.69 risk ratio return. Simple as that. I do think that buy and hold in that one actually does better. But again, strategies matter. Now, Morgan Stanley's top quality stock list for the long term, you got Amazon, you got Apple, you got Atlassian, you got Citigroup, you got Coca-Cola, you got Eli Lilly, you've got Meta, you've got Microsoft, you got Shopify, you got Train, you got TransUnion, Visa, and Walmart. There's 30 stocks that they recommend, 30 for 2027. That's 2 years from now. A collective of best long-term stock ideas on sustainability, quality, and opportunity to widen their competitive advantage. This is a great article. Find the stocks that you like. Okay, just find them. And maybe we can look at, yesterday's top 10 losers. One that I was just looking at, LYV, Live Nation. Josh Brown bought this up. This is one of his favorite stocks. I'm not buying it right now. I want to see when the 4-hour algorithm gets me in. Why? Look at the freaking performance. Over the last 24 months, it makes you 143% versus 56% buy and hold. That one I like. It wins 52% of the time. So 21 positions, it wins 11 times. It loses 10 times, but your average loss is only 1.95%. Again, cutting your losers, and this one cuts it out. You can see this nice 37% gain. You can see this nice 9% gain right there. You could have gotten out when it lost confirmation. Again, take emotions out of the trade. This is what you do. So maybe you want to look at these losers and then look at, will they become winners? Builder's Resource, I've owned that one in the past. Airbnb, I just booked an Airbnb for Denver. So again, there are opportunities out there. One that I want to look at right now, GBT versus gold. What's the real risk? This is a good article. Okay, Brett Ashcroft brings it in. Buyer analyst ratings at the time, he likes GLD. Well, let's take a look at it. I mean, we'll just go over here and we're going to do GLD and we're going to select symbols. We're going to get rid of the S&P 500. Let's just put an IBIT because some people may be upset that IBIT is down, and IBIT is down. But my time frame is not just 1 year. Gold is up 36% over 1 year. IBIT is up 8%. It'll catch back up to gold. It will. In my mind, I have no problem with that. We can get rid of IBIT. Let's select symbols. We'll get rid of IBIT and we'll put in BTC. This is just Bitcoin because no, I don't want the grayscale one. BTC, BTC versus USD. That's what we want. Okay. Look at Bitcoin versus over 3 years. Bitcoin's winning. So does it have more to come down? Maybe. And maybe IBIT comes down even more. But I'm dollar cost averaging on IBIT. And you want to know how I'm doing it? I'm just buying it when the 4-hour algorithm tells me to get in. And right now it has me out. Did I buy at 51? You bet I bought at 51. We're at 45. I will buy on the way down. This is a new ETF. So even on the weekly, we just got our 50-day right here at 43. We don't have a 200-day. And the MACD is still a little bit stretched. So for me, GLD has been a good one for 1 year. Okay, 1 year GLD is outperforming Bitcoin. 6 months, Bitcoin is outperforming gold. So for me, it's Bitcoin. I like Bitcoin. My suggestion for everybody that asks me about this is 1% of your portfolio should be into Bitcoin. If it dips down to 0.5%, no big deal. No big deal. But today, if you're deciding, say you have $1 million, okay, 1% should be in Bitcoin because you lost 1% yesterday in your total portfolio if you just had VOO. So if that hurt, gold and Bitcoin are not going to zero. Maybe split it up. Do 0.5% in gold, 0.5% in Bitcoin. It's all about your own risk tolerance. So that's the show for today, 38 minutes. I will talk to you guys on Monday. I hope we end up today. Right now in pre-market, we are looking at QQQ up 1.3. That's down from where it was. I mean, if we just look at a 5-minute, I guess it's up. Yeah, we've been steadily climbing, but it's just kind of, I started the show at about 8:30 or so, and it's down since then. So I don't know if we're going to sell into the open. I don't know what's going to happen. I am literally just sitting here waiting for stuff because, again, a tweet can take us down. And if you don't think a tweet's coming out, you just haven't read the tea leaves in the news. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys on Monday.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss